Thanks to viewers like you and sassygamers.com, Bard Rock Cafe can exist, I guess. So, you can find links to Sassy Gamers, our Patreon, and social media stuff in the show notes. Just click. Thanks.
Previously on Bard Rock Cafe, Epi learned about bandits stealing medical supplies while Brock and Rook met with the Blackstaff. Because the city couldn't move the obelisk, the Blackstaff put in a good word on the insurance claim, getting it paid out right away, and at a higher rate. Now everyone has free access to the Bard Rock and the obelisk in the cellar. What will they learn? Find out today on Bard Rock Cafe.
Welcome back to episode 12 of Bard Rock Cafe. Last time, the group finally came home and got the chance to reconvene and enter the Bard Rock Cafe, such as it is, in absolute shambles. And that's where we pick up. So, everyone, you are standing out in front of the Bard Rock Cafe. It is yours once again. What do you do?
Unless the guards stop me, Brock would like to go down into the basement and touch the obelisk.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Brock is on a mission.
Armbar's gonna follow him down.
Brock's the only person who hasn't seen this obelisk.
What's Armbar gonna do?
Armbar's gonna follow Brock.
Rook is also following along, so...
Epi comes along too, and does, Brock is probably going to have a tiefling very close on his tail. No play on words intended.
Ha, ha, ha.
Tieflings have tails.
Well,
Anyway.
some of them do.
Some of them.
Right, so is there any resistance from the guard? Or, I'm allowed on the premises, so they stop me from getting to the obelisk?
So you go around to the side, and you unlock the basement, and go down there. You see the obelisk still. Top is 3 feet buried into the stone. There's still that hole in the floor that is directly above where the obelisk hit. And yeah, you're able to just walk up, and you touch the obelisk.
Alright, so I see my life story.
Okay, so you reach out, you touch it, and,
Yep.
just like happened with Armbar, you gain the effect of tongues for the next hour, and yeah, you're able to read the celestial runes that are all along the length of the obelisk, and it is your life story. You see, in painstaking detail, your childhood, things you had forgotten are written on the obelisk, interactions that you didn't remember, it's a lot. And it's all there. Until you get to where it goes into the ground, and then you can't read past that.
Wish Armbar could read it.
I mean, all Armbar has to do is touch the stone again.
Does Armbar know that, though? I don't think
This
so.
is true. Speaking of... So, as Brock is touching this stone and all that stuff, Epi has got his little book out. Sort of half aside to Armbar. So, did you say that, so when you touch the obelisk, you could read it, right? Because right now, you can't read what's on my book, right? It holds up a page and it's probably got his notes on it.
Well, I could read, but not for sure if it was because of the obelisk.
He does know that the letter A, if there's any instance of the letter A on that page, he does know that.
How would I know I was
It's
reading
true.
if I never know I could read?
A very important sociological question, but I have a scientific query for you. I dare you to touch the obelisk.
Oh, you're saying I'm a scared cat, huh? Well, watch this!
And Armbar's gonna walk up to the obelisk and touch it.
See, nothing. Told you.
You can read everything.
Epi is absolutely just got the most cat who ate the canary grin and is just got his pen ready to take some notes. So?
Alright, well maybe I can read it now. Oh. Is that what a letter A is?
You have a small headache now just from the amount of weightlifting that this spell is doing for you.
Can I take a piece of the obelisk with me?
I don't think there are pieces of broken off of it, are
No,
there?
There are, from the impact, there are spiderweb cracks all along the obelisk. And that does make certain... Like, you can still read it, but it's kind of the effect of, like, after you've crumpled up a piece of paper and then smoothed it out. Like, you can read what's on it, but you can also definitely... You get what I'm saying?
So, yeah, so it's not very clear.
I also want to throw this out there, out of character. I want to let you know what Brock and Epi have been told, and Rook also, I just remember Rook is still here, is that the obelisk is a divine being. It's like a celestial being. So, do you want to take a piece of it off? It'd be kind of like if you want to just carry a guy's hand around in your pocket. I don't know if the obelisk would be happy with that.
I'm literally carrying God around. I don't see a problem with this. God's with you.
Yep, so I don't
go.
know, like, out of character, my advice to you would be maybe don't upset the holy being in my basement.
My advice to you, above game, do it.
Just don't call me a spirit
it's not-
yet.
So Rook will also just... Seeing all this, she will touch the obelisk, and sure enough, she gets the effect of tongues as well. And she's able to read her whole life story, and it, you know, she seems fascinated by it. But she...
So I have a question for the DM. What is the last development in my life story I can read before I get to the part that's buried in the ground?
You get to somewhere in the Bard's College.
Okay, so I can't get to present day that
No,
easily.
present day for all of you is buried in the ground.
Okay. Alright, so I look at the obelisk and I say, where did you come from?
Somewhere far in the distance, Cotton Eye Joe is playing.
Now, can everybody hear that?
No. That's me, the DM, just being in.
That was a joke.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
I'm just sitting there thinking, how am I going to put that in the edit?
Yeah, so you say that, and there's
Does it respond?
just this long silence.
Alright, so I thought that might happen. I find one mention of my father, and I point at the symbols that represent my father's name and say, can you tell me his life story, and touch his name.
You touch his name, and you get kind of like a little spark, but there's not really any discernible reaction that you can tell.
Brock, are you alright? You're speaking to a rock. What's the matter with you?
To be fair, the notes we read about the obelisk said it was a divine being. That means, to me, that it should be able to understand me, and if it's able to respond, it would. So, in theory, I'm speaking a language it understands right now. And if it's able to respond to me, I should be able to understand any way it's responding, so I don't think it can respond. I was trying to see. Maybe if we had, like... Oh wait, Epi, you're a cleric of the Raven Queen. Maybe if you try praying to it with your holy prayer, maybe it will listen
Yeah,
to you.
Epi, why maybe you should touch the rock.
Epi did touch the rock, didn't she? Didn't he?
Now, Epi has been kind of sitting back and writing in the notebook this whole time and observing what is happening to them. Has anything particularly weird happened to them after touching the rock?
They have
Obelisk.
tongues. That's the only...
If you were to ritual cast detect magic, you would see that we all have tongues on.
This is true. And it also sounds like you're all just talking in Infernal right now, which is fun.
Yeah. Because everybody hears their native language.
So, Epi just kind of stops writing for a second. Well, I haven't touched the rock yet. Obelisk. Holy being? I have no idea. I haven't touched that yet. Can y'all understand me?
Yes.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Alright.
Well, I'm speaking in Infernal right now. For as much as I know, I don't think any of you speak it.
Well, we already knew that it was going to cast tongues on us from the report that Felix gave us, so this shouldn't be surprising to any of us.
True. I just wanted to try it out. It's easier to speak in Infernal anyway.
That's a beautiful
So-
language.
Thank you. You're the first person that has ever said that, but I appreciate the pandering.
Epi, I literally studied linguistics and language at the Bard College. Literally all it is a liberal arts education where you're basically getting a literature degree. All I did was study languages.
I feel like perhaps this is why your father wasn't too keen on you getting that degree. But anyway,
Ooh, big words.
All right, champ, I want you to commit to your memory right now. I reach out and try and grab Epi's book and try and point at the letter B. This is the letter B. And I'm hoping that he'll get advantage on the check because he has tongues on.
Armbar,
Do I have to roll something for this?
are you trying to commit the letter B to memory?
I'll try to commit the letter B to memory.
I would like you to roll just a straight intelligence check. At advantage.
God. I got a 16.
That's enough. You have learned the letter B.
Hooked on phonics.
Wow, I never realized the letter B was in that shape.
All right,
they
so
grow up so fast.
I still can't spell anything. But I can make ba, like a sheep, ba.
See? You're already making progress. I'm very proud of you.
I'm almost there. More than halfway. Wait, I think.
champ, how are you at math?
Well, I never went to any fancy graduate school like you. Linguistics, linguini, whatever.
All right, at some point we're going to also work on teaching you math, champ.
We can do whatever you want, boss. Anything you want.
All right, so Brock turns his attention back to the obelisk, and when he asked about his father, he got a reaction, but nothing really seemed to happen,
Yeah,
right?
like it sparked a little bit, right? Like, there
Was there like a visible like spark from the obelisk?
it's more of a sensation, like static electricity, right?
And I don't understand what that means, though. No amount of tonguing helps that.
You can roll an Arcana check, but no, tongues does not give you.
Yep. Okay, let's roll my Arcana check. That is a 12, and I have a +1 to Arcana, so that is 13.
Okay. Don't really have any insight into what's going on there.
Darn, I'm actually slightly worse at insight. That wouldn't have helped. All right, so the next thing I look at, I'm just going to browse through really quickly. I'm looking to see specifically if I've ever met Giuseppe von Burs. If I met Epi before this.
Dang it!
You thought you were gonna get out of this clean, didn't you?
I didn't announce to everybody else that I'm
I
looking.
just-
That's just
I just wanted to do that in the armbar voice.
That is fair enough, buddy.
That's fair. I just want to be perfectly clear. Brock is not loudly announcing everything he's trying to do.
Yeah, armbar did not mean to say that. I just wanted to say it.
Okay, we'll make a ringtone out.
Roll investigation as you try to investigate the excruciating detail of your entire life story for a mention of a meeting with Giuseppe.
All right, that is an 18 plus 1, 19.
Alright, so
Bear in mind, this is from Bard College days or earlier. It does not go to the day that I met Epi on the podcast.
right.
Or Giuseppe.
Well, Epi and Giuseppe are the same person. It doesn't go far enough into my history with them for me to know whether or not it would refer to Epi as Giuseppe in that context.
So looking through your early history, I'll say you have probably at some point in your life, because you are both of a similar age, you have in passing, been near each other. You never really interacted before. At least not during the time frame that you narrowed it down to.
I just nudge Epi and go, hey, we went to a dinner party together once.
Epi kind of looks at it. I don't know if I remember that.
I don't either, but it's right there.
I look at it. Is it in the same spot on mine?
You don't know. You don't see what Brock sees.
Yeah, but I got my life story up there too. Is it in the same spot?
Can you read? You can't read it yet.
You haven't touched the stone yet.
That's right, I haven't touched the stone.
Epi looks at what he's pointing at. Is this a trick to get me to touch the obelisk?
I'm just telling you what I read. If you don't want to try reading it too, that's fine. I'm just letting you know. Apparently, we went to a dinner party once. Our parents went to the same dinner and brought us along.
He squints at you a little bit. Kind of looks at the obelisk that he definitely wants to read for himself. Alright, fine. Slaps just a hand on it. What do I see?
So, Epi, as you touch the obelisk, as the last person present, you all hear a loud crack, and the world goes sideways for all of you.
I swear I didn't hit it that hard.
Did we just die?
The world kind of fades away to shades of gold and silver, and as you kind of come back into focus, you're all still like next to each other. What you see around you are books. Lines and lines and rows of bookshelves going up, like stacked higher than you can see and stretching as far as your eye can see in every direction.
Epi clutches his book with the Nothic eye on it and looks like a kid in a candy store.
Hippie, what the heck did you just do? Where are we?
A library, I think.
There was an inn called Bard Rock Cafe that burned to the ground one day. With help from you for a copper or two, reconstruction can start right away. Minstrels will come from all round to bring you quality sound. At Three Towers you might find music delight. Come see the best bards in town. You are cordially invited to join us for a bard off. Join Brock as he tries to prove he's the greatest bard in Waterdeep for our 14th episode. You don't want to miss it.
What you all do see, as you have now been here long enough to kind of get your bearings a little bit, each of you has what appears to be a red, ethereal thread stretching from your heart somewhere in the library. They're all going different directions.
He kind of looks at everyone, looks at the little string. Alright. So are we doing rock, paper, scissors to see who follows the thread first, or do we just all take off in different directions? I feel like maybe that's not a great idea. I wouldn't know how to find all of you again. But I definitely want to know where this goes. And he just kind of picks up the string.
I think in the interest of time, because we don't know how long this is going to last, we should all just go our separate ways. Because right now, I'm guessing we can all still read, even Armbar.
Yes, everybody still has tongues.
Alright. So, I'm going to try one thing right quick just to see if it works. And I am going to, I'm going to try and use thaumaturgy to change my eye color. Okay. And I'm going to look Brock dead in the eyes and just be like, tell me if anything happens and my eyes change colors. Look at me. Look at me.
Alright, Brock looks into Epi's eyes very deeply.
Nothing.
So? Did they turn green or not?
No, they didn't.
So, little bit of news. Magic doesn't work here.
Does magic not work here, or do cantrips not work here?
One way to find out. And I am going to try and cast Mage Armor on myself.
The spell fails.
So, update. Magic as a whole doesn't work here.
Alright, cool.
I can still smash, though.
That's very true. That's very true.
Alright, remember the last time we made a librarian mad? We don't have magic this time, so maybe don't smash things.
She seemed to quiet down for me.
Oh, speaking of which, do we see a librarian?
No.
What's the book closest to us say?
Do you just...
Like, if I just reached over and there's a book there.
Can Armbar read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
Alright, so Epi reaches for the book most immediately to his left. What does Epi find?
So you find a book with nothing on the spine. And as you look around, there is nothing on the spines of any of these books. They all look identical.
Is there anything on the pages of these books? If I pull one out and open it up?
You open it out. Alright, you pull the book out of the bookshelf and you open it. And the very first page says Orak Tor. And as you turn to the first page, you find written in Celestial, in excruciating detail, is the entire life story of an orc named Orak Tor, who rode at the side of Obold Many Arrows, had a lot of really interesting events up in the north, closer to Neverwinter. Lived, died, his whole life story. Every event, every interaction, start to finish.
So Brock reads a couple pages and goes, okay, each of these books look like they're the life stories that people see when they look at the obelisk, based on this one sample of this one book I picked up and read the first 4 pages of.
So, I'm going to try something, and if it ends badly, I'm very sorry. I'm going to grab a book, and I'm going to see if it'll fit in my bag or if it just poofs back up there. And I'm going to be watching the empty hole in the shelf as I do it, just like, you know, what's going to happen.
Sure, you have a book in your bag.
You know, I half expected that wasn't going to go very well. And so I pull it back out. Whose book do I have?
So there's not really a translation for this name. It is written in Primordial. It is the life story of an earth elemental. And there is a lot, because it is technically not something that ages or has a beginning or end. It is just a being of absolute earth from the plane of earth.
Epi just had to grab the biggest, heaviest book on the shelf.
Absolutely.
No, it's the exact same size.
Oh my god, the books are TARDISes.
So I'm keeping this for research purposes. I put it in there. If nobody has a problem with that, then I put the bag back on my shoulder.
Well, if I had to venture a guess, I'm guessing that our red strings are going to go to our individual life stories. There's only one way to find out, though.
Is there a Dewey Decimal System for these books? Like, where we could look up anybody we wanted?
Every book has a blank spine, and there are quite literally miles of bookshelves with gold-spined blank books.
Is there a card catalog?
You see what you see.
Does my book have a red string coming out of it?
Not that you can see.
I'm wondering if we can find Kevin.
As you wonder that, as you focus on Kevin, the entire library seems to like fold in on itself, and you all get like the worst case of vertigo, and you find yourself in front of a bookcase with your hand on a book.
Quick question.
I know what this question is.
Where's my red string going at this point in time?
Still going off into the library.
Okay,
He didn't specify which Kevin.
It's Kevin with a Y.
Kevin with a
Oh
Y.
god, is this
Yes.
other Kevin?
Yes, Brock actually adds Kevin, but it's Kevyn.
Alright, so just to clarify, you were thinking of Kevin with a Y, the fictional made-up character of Epi.
You butthole.
It's fine. So,
Is that what am I
what's up?
interpreting?
Is that the specific Kevin you were trying to find the book for?
Yeah. I must have missed the joke that it was actually Epi's character that was Kevin with a Y. I thought it was someone we were like looking for
None
a
of us
while.
know that but Epi, and it was in the second episode, which you weren't
Yeah.
there to record.
Oh.
Epi,
Oh no. Mm-hmm.
your red string goes directly to the book that Armbar's hand is hovering over.
So I look at the red string, I look at everyone, I look at the red string. Alright?
I think we all see this. Like, we all see it's
So?
coming from somebody.
Yes.
There's a red string on the book.
Brock looks remarkably unsurprised. And he just mouths the word sand.
Well, Brock, what do you think of this? Should we pull it off the shelf?
Champ, give Epi the book.
Personally, I'd like to see it on account of the fact that that's the one that goes to my string. If that's alright with you.
Well, the boss said to give it to Epi, so here you go.
Thank you very much. So, why did we suddenly arrive at my book?
It's a magic library, clearly.
Yeah.
Also, that is a really useful card catalog. We need to get me one of these.
So, I'm gonna start flipping through my book a little bit.
Okay. It's life story, just like you've read. Like it was what was written on the obelisk outside, just in book format.
I'm going to flip to the very back.
Okay.
Oh, careful.
So you're at the very back.
Epi's gonna learn about the day Epi dies.
Armbar's gonna try to read it over your shoulder.
That's fair. Okay.
I want to practice my reading skills.
Kinda look at the book, I look at him, I look at the book. Give me 1 second. I want to read this. Make sure there's not any saucy details.
You turn to the very last page.
Oh, those PG-13 eyes of Rormbar. Can't be tainting that.
You're so right. You're such an innocent soul.
So as you say that,
Don't you condescend me.
you're on the last page and you see, "You're such an innocent soul," said Epi. To which Roland Armbar responded, and it is writing the events out in real time. And as you reach the bottom of the page, a new page forms and begins to fill in. And you're watching your life story be written as you're experiencing it.
Please tell me that the sentence Epi continued reading the book keeps writing itself until Epi does something else.
Remember that this is in excruciating detail. So it's the book quoting.
Is this like one of those things where there's a mirror looking in a mirror, so the book is telling you about the book, telling you about the fact Epi's
That is
reading the book?
exactly what's happening. The book is quoting itself as Epi is reading that line of the book. And then Epi is reading about himself reading that line of the book and what that line of the book says. And it just, excruciating detail.
Does everybody else see it, or is it just Epi?
All of you can see it.
Well, Brock is not reading over Epi's shoulder. Brock is actually, while they're doing this, Brock thinks to himself, I want the book about Beryl.
Okay, for all of you, and it does seem that you all go together, as this is the second time this has happened, the library bends in on itself, and you find yourself standing in front of a bookshelf with your hand in front of a book.
Oh, do I still have my book in my hands?
You do.
I am putting that in my bag.
I'm gonna be sick. Oh, I don't like that, boss.
I feel like Armbar needs to roll a Constitution check to keep his lunch down.
Not yet.
All of us.
Don't you tell me what to roll, little man.
I am a gracious god, but I have my limits, sir.
Did the library just talk to us? Hello!
It can read.
So I do want to say this. As you guys have been traveling, and I say traveling, as you see the library fold in on itself, and now as you're standing in front of a bookshelf, you can see, like, all through the floor are, like, cracks. And then there's, like, deep rifts and split bookshelves, like, off in the distance.
Huh.
That probably isn't good.
Yeah, so I very quickly flipped through the book about Beryl to get the one answer I want to know. I flipped towards, like, the last couple of pages. I'm looking for information about what the letters GL stand for, and I'm power skimming.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
That is a 7 plus 1, 8.
Okay. So, like, you're not really in a hurry. You are power skimming. You're looking for any indication of GL. Look.
Yep, or two words together that start with G and L.
So you do.
Control F that.
Yep, I'm control Fing with my brain.
He's got a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if Brock could be as good a power skimmer as I am. Because if I flip, I'm just browsing the last 20 pages because I'm guessing this guy. It hasn't even been a day, so I'm looking to see any reference to that organization that they seem to represent in those last 10, 20 pages.
Last 10 and 20 pages, you're in today, right? Because again, excruciating detail. You're reading about his breakfast. What he's done so far this morning, which has involved meeting with some fellow gang members. You'd see that. I'll say with an 8, that's enough to get you to slow down and read a little more carefully there. You do come across one mention of guildless.
I guessed that. That was one of my guesses on Discord, everybody in the audience.
Because you guessed it, you may have inspiration for the rest of this episode. So you can, at any point of your choosing, you can give yourself advantage on a roll.
Alright, sweet. Alright, so then once I find that, I go, so the library's collapsing.
Well, maybe it's just that the obelisk came flying through the air, crashed through your inn, may it rest in peace, and now it's a little bit, even when we were standing there, it had cracks all in it.
Right, but I think they've gotten worse every time we've done the Foley thing, so maybe we should manually walk to any books we want to go with strings, and be careful about using that find feature.
Epi, something you notice as you are holding your own book. You notice a very thin, pale silver string connecting your book to Beryl's.
Mine?
Yes.
Ooh. So, does anyone else see this string, or is it just me?
Just you.
Okay. So, I'm going to open up to the page that has that silver string on it, and I'm going to go over to Beryl's book, pull the string, and get it open.
It is the point in both books where the two of you interacted at the jail.
So, fun fact that I just learned. You're tied with silver strings to people that you've interacted with. Also, I found the page that it's on that we found him.
Oh,
You're
and
welcome.
Brock tells both of them, the GL stands for guildless. I didn't actually get around to saying that out loud.
Epi pulls out the Nothic book. Well, the book with a Nothic eye on, his holy book. Writes down on there, GL means guildless. Closes it. Holds it up for a second. And thinks real hard about Mortimer.
You can't just say these words. And then...
It's fine.
It's fine.
Where did Mortimer come from? And now I have to think about that and try to incorporate... What's that? Oh, it's the name of the book?
When Epi writes in the book and the book writes back, that the person writing back is named Mortimer.
Okay.
I don't believe Armbar knows that. We just know that the book writes back. I don't think Epi's explicitly told us the book is named Mortimer.
I don't think I've told anyone the name of the book yet. But you guys know that this book writes back.
We will find out when I get that far in listening to this series that, in fact, we were told that. But until now, we're going to go with...
I remember we camped out and we were trying to catch her writing in the book, but I don't know if we ever found out like what that meant.
Right. If we had that conversation, I don't remember it right now.
Yeah, no, y'all didn't find out who was in the book. Just that it writes back. Which was actually a point of contention, because y'all wanted to know who was writing
It's
back
like
to
a
me.
fishing pole. Like you cast out a line, and you're like, Mortimer. Who the fuck is Mortimer? I gotta figure out this secret.
I'm just gonna think real hard about it. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I'm gonna think real hard, and I'm gonna see if I can get us.
Alright, so Epi activates the card catalog, searching for Mortimer.
So, Epi,
Yeah.
you feel the library start to bend and twist in on itself, and all four of you just rocket directly up, and you just keep going until eventually you reach what seems to be an invisible, well, not invisible, but like an opaque, you can kind of see through it, but it's like one of those it's like stained glass where you can see through it but not really, right? And it's just a barrier. And it's like it's on the ceiling. And you can see on the other side of this barrier, there's obviously, like, more bookshelves. But you're not able to get past that barrier. But you sense that...
Armbar, the glass.
Alright. Armbar takes out his great axe and takes a good old swing at it.
Bonk.
So, strength check. Right?
No. You take a big old swing at this. Bonk.
Kenny's trying to tell you you're lucky the axe didn't break.
I know.
Looks like I got a no effect there, boss. What do we do?
Think we're gonna need a bigger axe.
I'm gonna need a bigger axe. Or a bigger armbar.
Epi, can I reach up and touch the barrier?
Yeah, you can touch it. It's right there. Like, you guys are standing on it. Like, gravity is now somehow inverted. Your feet are on the barrier, and you're just standing there.
Epi, what did you ask? The meaning of life, the universe, and everything?
No, 1 second. Flips his book open, writes, "How do we get past the barrier?"
Ooh.
So, the lettering fades, and that tight handwriting appears. Says, "I've been trying to figure that out."
I just kind of... You just see Epi, he's thinking real hard about it, and he's just like... And you guys can probably look over his shoulder as he writes this. Well, now we're going to have to find that out.
No response.
Close the book and put it back in. So, just to catch you up on a few things, because you were out cold while everyone was talking about it. This book responds to me. Don't ask too many questions about it. That's what I was trying to get to.
So all of a sudden now you want to drop all this information on me, huh?
Well, in fairness, it's because I'm about to ask a favor.
What is it this time, Epi? Better be good.
I want to help the person that writes back to me in the books get through the barrier.
And who, pray tell, is this person that we're trying to save? What relation do you have with this person?
So, the person is an old friend of mine. Known him since I was a teenager. The name's Mortimer. Call him Mort for short. And I want to help my friend.
Well, I have an idea, but I'm going to classify it as a bad idea. I have access to somebody much more older, experienced, and worldly than me. You met him once. I wonder if he would know something, but I'm not sure how to ask him without letting him be in charge.
Well, who's that?
Roll, my quarry spirit. Quarry spirits are much older than their Kaleshtar counterparts, so it might be possible Roll has knowledge I don't have. But I would have to let him be in control for you to ask him. And above game, Paul has no idea if that means anything. It just means he can more justifiably make a knowledge check about this than I could. Or we could check my book. We could check my book. I bet you if we check my book, it will have Roll in it too.
I'm wondering if Armbar would know who this Roll person is.
I mean, we established that you've seen me like that before, but you had, I never stayed in that state for very long. You were the one who talked me down when Roll took control in the jail.
Yeah, but do I know that that's the name of the alter ego? Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
That in the store.
I just want to make sure.
So, Brock says, "Bring me to my book."
The library folds in on itself. You go back down, miles and miles down, and you're back on the floor. And you zip down miles and miles of bookshelf, and then your hand is hovering in front of your own book. Your red thread is connected to it.
And then I look for So I open it up, and I know my own life story well enough. I look for where Roll first appeared.
So it's about when you're a teenager. You find the first mention of your quarry spirit.
Can I peep over his shoulder?
That's not a question for me.
It's my turn to peep.
Brock's not going to stop Epi from peeping. Now, Epi had mentioned a silver string. I'm looking for a silver string connecting Brock's book to Roll's book, unless they share a book.
Are you focusing on...
Yes, now I'm focusing on Roll's
Okay,
book.
the library shifts in on itself again. This time...
I was really hoping it's on an adjacent shelf.
This time... Yeah, no. This time the floor seems to fall out from under you. And you seem...
Oh dear, we're going the other direction now.
And you're falling, and then, moving backwards, you're kind of going diagonally. And then you stop.
Oh, lordy.
Your hand is hovering in front of a book.
Where in the nine hells is this person from?
That's a really complicated thing that involves explaining the ancestral history of my people.
Is it in the book?
All quarry come from the same plane, I believe. But I don't believe it's the nine hells, although in Roll's case, maybe it is.
So as you're all standing here and talking and discussing, the library starts to rumble and shake. And you feel all of the books snatched away from you. And
Oh no, even the ones in my bag?
Yeah, all of them.
Dang it.
But, Armbar, hold Epi's bag shut.
I tried my best to hold the bag shut.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
22, it's a natural 20.
Okay, you manage to dodge out of the way as the book slingshots out of the bag and almost clocks you in the face.
Does wild magic work here?
You don't know?
The Bard Rock Cafe is just gonna be like a giant mushroom when we get back or something.
Well, it was a natural 20, so do we have to roll dice?
So
I know in character we don't know a natural 20 happened.
Oh.
But out of character...
Armbar rolled a nat 20? That was a nat 20?
Yep.
That was a nat 20.
Well, No, nothing triggers.
So we don't have magic.
Yeah, even the wild magic doesn't work here. Although, remember, in character we don't know that, because we don't know what a natural 20 is.
Yeah, this is outside of cap.
Yeah.
As the books are pulled away, you guys feel yourself being pulled through the library again.
I'm gonna try to. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Is it a similar feeling to what we felt before, or is it different?
It's like as far as being pulled.
Yeah.
It's similar. Like you guys seem to be traveling farther.
All right.
And the bookshelves seem to fall away, and you are in a clearing, but it's like a spherical clearing. Like, in all 3 dimensions, up, above and below and all around you, the bookshelves extend out, but you seem to be functionally at the center of the library. And there is a pedestal with a book.
Oh, I need to read that book.
That's all Epi. Brock is going to let Epi handle this one.
Let me read the book.
So you pick up the book, and you open it. As you open to the first page, it's blank until you see written in delicate handwriting, "Hello, Giuseppe."
I take out my pen, and before I write in it out of habit, I stop. I'm like, is this a situation where I would write in the book, or can I just talk?
You can just talk.
I put the pen back. So, I think you know my name and everyone else's and everything else there is to know. This is your library. What's your name?
I don't have one.
What are you? Aside from very impressive.
I am endless.
Suppose that'll work for a name then. Endless. Can Armbar still read?
Yeah. Everybody can read. It lasts for an hour. You guys have been here not an hour.
Excellent. So I'm gonna be like, so, about the obelisk that went flying through the sky and came through the Bardock Cafe and all of the wild magic that's going on and also the bookshelves, what's going on exactly?
I fell.
Fell from where?
Celestia.
That's a hell of a fall.
Did it hurt? When you fell from heaven?
I think I might be dying.
It's a pickup line for those that don't know.
How did it respond to that?
Did you hear his response?
Did it respond to that?
I think I might be dying.
No. It felt like it was dying. Oh, honey. Abby just kind of looks at it and... What type of paper is it? What is the book like?
Roll. Oh man. It's not like anything you've written on or interacted with before. It doesn't seem to even have like solid substance. It's more like energy given form.
Epi's just looking at it and he's like, so, why did you fall from heaven? Celestial. Ask him.
Because I was breaking.
Oh. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Why are you breaking and can we fix it?
There's kind of a tense silence, and then you all feel like a tether of golden energy attached to each of you, and you all hear the voice in your head now. And all it says is, I need you to fix me. We all do. And then you all feel yourselves start to get pulled again, but not this time. It's different. you feel the library getting farther and farther and farther away from you. Like you're moving much faster than you were before. And more distant now, but you hear that same voice. I'm giving you what I can of my power. And then there's another snap! And you're all prone on your backs in the basement of the Bard Rock Cafe, and there's some guards standing over you, like, trying to wake you up.
Effie sits up. Alright, tell me I wasn't dreaming. Did any of you see that?
Brock sits up and he's rubbing his head and his eyes. Is like, that had a kick.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, that's alright there, big fella. You did good. I don't think I'm built for whatever roller coaster we were riding on, but so for you guards that are out here, how long were we out?
We don't know. We found you down here like 10 minutes since we found you.
Ah, so turns out if you try and do certain types of magic around it, it'll let off a gas that makes you very high. Thank you for watching over us while we were out of it. Feeling a little better now. I don't think it sat too well with our friend over here though. We should be fine.
The guards kind of give you this look, and they're like, they don't have any reason to think that you're lying to them, so they just kind of like, yeah, okay, just let us know if you need anything, we'll check in. And they kind of just make their way nervously away from the obelisk and back outside.
Thank you very much. I'll tell your supervisors you did good jobs, if that helps at all.
They're gone.
I appreciate you.
Wusses.
Oh.
You guys hear a cracking sound behind you, and if you look over, you see the grooves in the obelisk getting a little deeper.
That's not good.
So, my cafe has a celestial time bomb in the basement.
I mean, if there is ever a draw for customers, that would be it. Put a little tightrope around that and then just charge admission.
No, the Blackstaff explicitly told me I can't do that, actually. Yeah, I have to have a magister posted in the basement at all times to make sure wild magic stuff doesn't happen.
Speaking of, Brock, look me in the eye. Look at me.
Okay.
I cast thaumaturgy and I try and make my eyes green.
Your eyes turn green.
What color are my eyes?
What color are Epi's eyes normally?
They're goat eyes.
But what color are they?
Peoples and everything. If the magic worked, now they're green and normal.
But what color are they before? What color did I watch them change from?
Oh, gold.
They look gold. I think you lost your magic, Epi.
That is not good.
Do you want me to roll a deception check on that?
Oh, you son of a mother person! Okay, do it, you.
That is a 8 plus deception 3 is 11.
Go ahead and roll insight.
Okay. Ooh. Oh no. Okay, so 6 plus 4 is a 10.
Brock?
I'm gonna burn my inspiration.
Well, you rolled an 11, right, Brock?
Oh, 6 plus 4 is a 10. Okay, I rolled an 11, that's right.
This time you get 1 point more.
Yep, I rolled an 11, I don't need to. Alright, so after Epi looks really freaked out, I go, no, they turned blue. Or green, whatever color that you said they're supposed to turn, they turned that color. I was just messing with you.
Oh, okay. Epi just gives him this look like it's a combination of offended and just really impressed. Alright, you. I see how it is.
We're even
done,
for the
but
sand
I'll
now.
remember that.
I whispered that part.
What was that? You guys whispering stuff again behind Armbar's back?
Well, Arnbar can probably hear it. The guards who left us to our own devices won't. That's what I'm trying to do.
So, everybody, as you look at Armbar, who is notably showing more of his chest than any of you. You see a tiny golden sigil glowing above his heart.
Armbar?
What do you want?
I think you have a new tattoo.
Can we read the sigil because we're still tongued?
Isn't it an alpaca tattoo?
I look down.
It is.
And
It
my
is-
snap.
It is not an alpaca tattoo. It is a sigil that just says power in Celestial.
That's right. At least someone gets it around here.
All right. Brock does the Superman thing and rips his shirt open to see if he has the same mark.
Same mark.
Wow. Strong man over there.
Rook kind of discreetly looks down her shirt and sees it as well.
Epi kind of has to pull his turtleneck out a bit to look down and see.
Yeah, yeah. All four of you have the same sigil in the same spot.
Feeling like He-Man.
I feel like perhaps this one suits you a little more than it does me. I mean, let's face it. About the only power I have comes from spells.
Doesn't say anything about strength there, Epi. Just says you have power. You get all the power in the world as long as you believe it.
And I slap her in his chest.
How far back does Epi go?
Wait, are we like the putties from Power Rangers with the big Z on their chest? Does Epi just disappear?
No,
Morphin' time. Yeah.
no, it is.
Armbar, are you tapping Epi in a I could knock them down way, or are you tapping
No,
them
just
in
like
a there
just
way?
like a friendly slap to the chest, like you got power there, kid. You know, kind of thing like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know. It's kind of funny to imagine Armbar really strong. Epi.
Well, maybe you
Human
fall back
twig.
a little bit. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
tiefling twig.
Epi roll Constitution saving throw.
The playful slap happens, and Epi's just kind of like, I can't believe I survived that.
So,
Uh,
armbar, as you slap Epi on the chest, that static electricity spark thing happens again. As you slap the room.
Didn't think we had that kind of connection.
I guess you could say we have some sparks.
Sparks are fine in this relationship.
I'm not sure my heart is in those puns. I just need to get my one off my chest.
Okay, give me a half a second. Okay.
All right, so Brock sees that, and Brock like double taps his own chest like he's checking for a heartbeat just to see if he shocks himself.
As you tap your own sigil, a glow appears in your hand, like your hand just extends out in front of you. And the sigils on all of your chests go dark. And you are holding a very small stack of cards.
Oh dear.
Just Brock.
So, the lights went off.
Can I roll some sort of check to see if I know what these cards are before I mess with them? Above game, I have suspicions.
Roll Arcana check.
15. Arcana, I have +1, so that's 16. Is that enough?
I mean, you're not sure what you're looking at. You're pretty...
I'm going to burn my inspiration to try
Okay.
and get higher, because the episode's almost over anyway. That's an 8. That's not going to do it for sure.
Okay. You're not sure what you're looking at. You're pretty confident this is magical, but, like, no shit, Sherlock.
Alright, so I'm holding a magic deck of cards. Would anybody like to look, like... Alright, so can I ask a question above game? Because I have a suspicion what this deck of cards is.
Sure, go ahead.
If I believe this is a deck of many things, If you don't draw from the deck and you just look through the cards, does that trigger stuff?
You
No?
don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
Epi looks over at it. Hold on. Let me see. And I cast Detect Magic.
You cast it or you ritual cast it?
I cast it, so it's faster.
Okay, hang on. Roll me a D100, or if you would like, you can use the D100 that I used before the session.
Let's use the one you used before the session.
It's a one.
Let's do it.
It's a 100. Roll me a D20.
Oh no. So, 18?
Nothing happens. So, you cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
You're getting all sorts of... Alright, so Detect Magic detects enchantments and magic. This thing's like looking at a furnace, right? Like, it's... You know when you look at a furnace and, like, the air around it's doing that wavy thing where the heat's making it shift in the air? You're looking at the magical equivalent of that. So, like, whereas normally, you know, a level 1 spell gives you, like, a little bit of a glow, this thing's like 1,000 degrees, right?
So I'm just... Epi's looking at that, kind of squints, does the casting thing. You just see his eyes go really wide, and it's like... So... Brief update. You're holding the equivalent of a magical nuclear bomb as far as I can tell. There's so much magic coming off of that.
Alright. Brock flips the top card.
And that's where we're going to end the episode tonight.
Yeah!
So,
Well, to be fair, we're about to record another episode.
no, yeah. The listeners don't know that.
It was so good!
They gotta wait 2 more weeks.
Well, yeah, but like that was what I'm just pointing out what Tyler's saying.
I'm tormenting our followers.
It's okay, we can cut it before that. Excellent! They deserve to be tormented by the equivalent of a magical nuclear bomb.
Yeah, sure, I'll just draw one. Yeah, it's fine. What's the worst that can happen? So, thank you so much for listening. I hope you're having as much fun as we are. And Brock, Epi, and Armbar, I will see you guys in like 10 minutes. Everybody else, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Okay, you listen to Bar Rock Cafe. Get on to sassygamers.com and listen to more episodes. And become a patron. I'll read your cards. Do it. Patreon.com/Bar Rock Cafe. Till next time.